Installing your EnduraFlat pet door through a thick wall. Please read instructions and notes thoroughly before installation. If you are not completely comfortable cutting a hole in your home, we highly recommend hiring a professional. The supplied parts include a screw pack, wood shims, spray foam sealant, sealing tunnel tape, 1 tube of silicone, a caulking gun, a tunnel liner material, 1 locking cover, 1 inside frame, and 1 outside frame. The required tools are a pencil, a hammer or mallet, a measuring tape, electric drill, safety gear, stud finder, drywall knife or other knife for cutting inner wall, a saw for cutting the outer wall compatible with your wall material, a razor blade for trimming tape, a level, a Phillips head screwdriver, and a straight edge. Step 1. Measure your pet. Measure your pet and make a mark at least 3 inches above your pet's height on your wall. This will line up with the top of the cutout. Depending on pet height and the height of your baseboards, you may need to cut into the baseboards to install the frame. If you want to avoid that, make sure to set the height accordingly. Step 2. Prepare wall for installation. Find a location clear of plumbing, electrical, and other obstructions. If you have stud construction, choose a spot against one stud when possible. Once you find the stud, you can open a small area of the wall next to the stud that is large enough for you to feel around. You can double check for any plumbing, wiring, studs, or additional bracing that is in the way. Do not cut through plumbing, wiring, or bracing. Use the rough cutout dimensions from the chart to mark out the rough opening in the wall. Make sure your lines are level. This cutout will leave space for the included tunnel material. Step 3. Make the rough cutout. Cut through the wall with the appropriate tools. You can make the tunnel liner box from step 5 to use as a guide to mark the corners of the cutout on the outer wall from the inside of the house. Make sure to offset for the thickness of the tunnel liner material. In some cases, you may have to cut and brace a stud. See local building codes to ensure this is done properly. We recommend hiring a professional if you are unsure what to do. Remove insulation inside the wall as needed. You can save some to put back into the open areas of the wall cavity. Step 4. Add a bottom support stud. This step won't be necessary for most cinder block walls. Add a bottom support stud between the studs in your wall. Add any other supports or bracing as needed. Step 5. Create the tunnel liner box. Create the tunnel liner box by assembling the tunnel material with all the painted edges facing the same way. Attach the pieces with the provided medium wood screws as demonstrated in the diagram. Pre-drill the holes to avoid splitting the plywood. Step 6. Draw a cut line on tunnel. Slide the tunnel box into the opening until the inside of the box is flush or slightly inside the surface of your inner wall. Mark a line all around the box at the outer wall. Remove the box from the wall. Relocate the tunnel box screws so they are all within the usable area of the tunnel. Cut off the excess tunnel material. Cut just inside your line to make sure the tunnel does not end up sticking out of the wall after installation. It should be flush or just inside the wall surface on both inside and outside. Step 7. Attach the tunnel liner box. Insert the tunnel liner box into the rough cutout opening. Use the provided shims to get the tunnel level and square. Use the provided long wood screws and/or concrete screws to attach the tunnel box to a nearby stud, brick, concrete, or bottom support. Trim off shims flush to the wall. You can score them with a knife, then snap them off. Step 8. Apply spray foam sealant. Use the spray foam sealant to fill any gaps around the tunnel box. Once the sealant dries, trim off any excess. Step 9A. Prepare and apply sealing tunnel tape. Make sure that the spray foam sealant is dry and that the tunnel area is clean. The edge of the sealing tape should line up with the inside wall. For deep walls, you will need to use multiple layers of tunnel tape overlapping 1 inch on each piece to cover the entire tunnel. To apply the sealing tunnel tape, start at the middle of the upper tunnel and apply the tape all around the tunnel, ending with a slight overlap at the top. Make sure to press the tape tightly into the corners as you go. Make sure to have at least 1 inch of tape overhang the outside wall. Once in place, firmly apply pressure all along the tape to activate the adhesive. Step 9B. Finish sealing tunnel tape. Cut each corner up to the outer wall. Fold back each piece of the sealing tape against the outer wall, pressing firmly. Apply caulking to the openings in all 4 corners, sealing the cut area of the tape to the outer wall. The sealing tape will be trimmed in a future step. Step 10. Screw in the frames. Make sure the 4 tabs are upright and snug to the inside frame. You may have to loosen the screw to rotate it into place using a Phillips screwdriver. Insert the inside frame and level it in the opening. While holding the frame flush against the wall, use 4 wood screws to screw the mounting tabs to the inside of the tunnel. If there are larger gaps, you can pre-bend the mounting tab toward the tunnel. Step 11. Install the outside frame. Repeat installation step number 10 for the outside frame, making sure the flap or flaps swing through both frames without interference. Step 12. Seal the inside frame. From the outside, apply silicone in the tunnel around the sides and bottom edges of the inside frame. This will seal the tunnel tape to prevent water intrusion. Step 13. Seal the outside frame. Use a sharp razor blade to trim off any excess tunnel tape that is sticking out past the outside frame on all 4 sides. Apply silicone where the outside frame meets the exterior wall on the top and sides, but leave the bottom open to allow for drainage. And that's it! You've installed your Endura flat pet door through a wall.